Ladies and mostly gentlemen, today we're going to talk about allied races and more specifically something that people have found in the game files of the Shadowlands alpha. But before we get into all of that, I just want to thank the sponsor of this video, and that is my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to check me out streaming the Shadowlands alpha, twitch.tv/MrGM. Right, let's just get straight into this. So first of all, special thanks to wow.tools and the team over there doing an absolutely amazing job getting all this Shadowlands alpha data and just general game data. So if you do want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below this video. So to give some context here, WoW basically runs off these files called DB2 files. They're essentially like databases. And there's one for like pretty much everything. So there's one for races, there's one for items, there's one for creatures, there's one for everything, right? And this one specifically that we're looking at right now is allied race. And this was obviously added in Battle for Azeroth. It has a list of allied races, as you can see, like it has race ID 35, which is Vulpera, you have race ID 32, which is Coltiran, etc, etc. So here's the list of allied races. And it has like the unlock achievement and the display IDs and all that kind of stuff. Now, when we move to the latest build, we filter it to 9.0.1, the eagle-eyed viewer can notice that this table has 4 new entries. And it's these. It's 111, 12, and 13, and 14, and they have pretty low race IDs. Now these are linked to another file called char races, which does have a list of playable and non-playable races, so things like Tuskar will be in there, but also Mechanomes and stuff like that. So these IDs here are actually quite old, so number 15 is Skeleton. Now Skeleton is essentially, I think it's an undead model, it does support gear, kind of basically you can put a helm on it and shoulders and stuff, it uses the same rigging as an undead. Then you've got 16, which is Vikel, 17, which is Tuskar, and 18, which is Forest Troll. Now, 16, 17, 18 all support gear pretty much, apart from a few helms here and there, but for the most part, these models do kind of support gear, and they've been much requested for a very, very long time. So I could leave the video there and be like, yo guys, Tuskar confirmed for Shadowlands, but we're going to dig a little deeper into this because it gets really crazy, so please bear with me. So the data here obviously says Crest ID, and it's just like random allied race Dark Iron Dwarf it uses, and Zandalari and whatever. They're all kind of placeholder stuff at the moment, and model background ID as well is just kind of just random as heck. So the column we are going to focus on is creature display ID. Essentially these are just the appearances of these races. So for example, this one right here will be the appearance of a Vulpera, which will link to their model ID. Now these ones here are pretty high numbers, and you would assume, right, so you know, 93894 is just going to be a Skeleton, or, you know, 93970 is going to be a Tuskar, but that's not the case, and this is where it gets kind of mad. So the male display ID for the Skeleton race is 93894, and this is a Kyrian male model. The female model for this race is a female Kyrian model. We move down for the entries for Vikel. 93936 is actually a Necrolord display ID, a male Necrolord. The female is listed as 93946, and this actually isn't a female Necrolord, it's this abomination, so yeah, that's a little weird. The Tuskar is unfortunately not a Tuskar. 93970 is a Night Fae male, and the female is not actually a Night Fae female, it is actually a like little fairy thing, so yeah. And the final one, Forest Trolls 93619, is actually a Venthyr male, and 93774, the female model, is actually a Venthyr female. So this is pretty nuts. Now, this is not saying these races are confirmed as allied races, because as of right now, these races do not support gear. All of their gear is essentially baked into the model. Now, that's not to say they can become races eventually. We had a similar situation with the Nightborn in Legion, where they started off kind of similar to how these races started off, and eventually they did the work and they made them playable races. But it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. My theory and a couple other people's theories is basically that they're reusing this table for some other use, potentially, or, you know, as I said, this could very well be the kind of breadcrumb start of them adding the 4 brand new races of Shadowlands as allied races. Now it's worth noting as well, on the race list, as I said, the one that stores all the playable and non-playable races does not have entries for these races as of right now. The highest one is Mechanome, which is obviously the race that was added in 8.3, so we're still ways off. Now, as I said, doesn't say they're coming tomorrow. They're definitely not coming tomorrow. Potentially it is a sign that they might be thinking about it, and Ian literally said, everything you find in the data, take with a pinch of salt, and I'm going to take a pinch of salt with this one and say, it's not happening right now. Maybe it'll happen eventually. we will certainly see. But guys, that's pretty much it. That's me kind of breaking down this kind of allied race stuff that's been going around the internet right now. So yeah, do let me know. Would you like to see these races eventually become allied races? I think it'd be really cool. But I think we'll have maybe some issues with allegiances. Maybe they'll be neutral. I don't even know. That's a whole nother video for another time. But before I go, I'd like to give a massive shout out to amazing patrons, YouTube channel members, and Twitch subs. You guys are awesome. If you'd like to support the channel in any of those ways, links are down below. So leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. I've also got a partner Discord channel with over 3,000 members. And as I said, I am streaming on twitch.tv/WizardGM. If you want to see me streaming the Shadowlands Alpha, I'll be streaming over on twitch.tv/WizardGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.